My name's Adam Monaco and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
Seconds out for round 4 of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship from Mexico City.
Out of nowhere!
No, it's stupid, can you really?
That was a mad move!
Great move, eyes forward.
Our street racing slugfest sees drivers go toe-to-toe.
Yes, guys!
In a series that never fails to deliver a knockout blow. After screaming through the streets of Santiago, our Latin American adventure continues in Mexico City, a sprawling metropolis of over 21 million people. But just 22 men will line up to race here for the latest installment of the most unpredictable championship to date.
3 races have produced 3 winners so far this season, with some surprise names in the mix. Antonio Felix da Costa took top honours for BMW I Andretti in Saudi Arabia, holding off a late challenge from Techeetah's Jean-Eric Vergne.
And it's victory for Da Costa and BMW!
The reigning champion has been off the boils so far. He scored a DNF in Santiago.
My God, how stupid can you be?
And span out of contention in Marrakesh, where Jerome D'Ambrosio won in just his 2nd race with Mahindra. Audi's Lucas Di Grassi is another former champion who's had a bumpy ride. He sits 13th in the championship standings, while 2016 champion Sebastian Buemi crashed out of the lead in Santiago, failing to replicate his impressive qualifying form once more for Nissan. Sam Bird, meanwhile, soared into the championship lead in Santiago, the Envision Virgin driver becoming the only man to win in every season of Formula E.
Yes, guys!
Our 3 race winners are the top 3 in the championship, with Sam Bird just 2 points ahead of Jerome D'Ambrosio. Jean-Eric Vergne is 5th, the only former champion inside the top 10 after 3 rounds. Mexico City awaits round 4 of the Formula E Championship, but first, here's a look at what drivers will face at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
The Mexico City circuit is 2.1 kilometers long, featuring 17 turns. The first sector is fast and flowing before being interrupted by the tight chicane in turns 3, 4 and 5. Next, drivers enter the famous Foro Sol section, where fans packed into the baseball stadium will see which drivers activate attack mode for an extra boost of power. This circuit lies at over 2,200 metres above sea level, so that will throw up its own challenges.
Down to the grid we go now, where championship leader and the winner in Santiago, Sam Bird, was in an unfamiliar position at the back after a mechanical problem in qualifying. Lucas Di Grassi, a former winner here in Mexico City, sits in P2. He'll be the one to watch for Audi Sport App. But Pascal Wehrlein is your pole sitter in Mexico City. His first pole in just his 3rd outing for Mahindra Racing, with the top 10 looking like this. Row 5, Oliver Turvey for Neo and Eduardo Mortara for Venturi Formula E. Row 4, reigning champion Jean-Eric Vergne for DS Techeetah and Alexander Sims for BMW I Andretti. Row 3, Sebastian Buemi and Antonio Felix da Costa for BMW Andretti. On row 2, rookie Oliver Rowland for Nissan Edams, rookie Felipe Massa for Venturi, and on row 1, former series champ Lucas Di Grassi for Audi Sport App Schaeffler, and rookie Pascal Wehrlein. Now over to your commentary team of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nichols.
On the right-hand side, it's Pascal Wehrlein in the Mahindra. Alongside him on the front row, Lucas Di Grassi, a man who has won here before. All 5 lights are on, and we're green in Mexico City. It's a good So Wehrlein comes over to cover the inside. Massa's got a good start as well as they spread out into turn 1. And there goes Roland up the inside into second place. What a move from the British driver. 4th to 2nd in the first corner. Wehrlein still leads. Roland second, de Grassi third. Up into 4th place has gone Buemi. Felipe Massa has lost a couple of places. Now they come into this first pinch point on the circuit. Is everyone going to get through relatively safely? Yes,
so
it's a
far,
bit
yes.
messy, but nothing too bad. What a start from Roland, Dario.
We thought Roland was going to be aggressive, but look at that. 2nd place already. Fantastic. Ahead of Lucas de Grassi. I bet they weren't expecting
The
that.
Foro Sol, the baseball stadium, is on its feet as the cars come through for the first time. There's a few looks further back. Sam Bird has been quite aggressive and made up 2 places at the start. Oliver Turvey's in a fight. Da Costa has got him into 5th place. So Felipe Massa has dropped from 3rd all the way down to 6th place on this opening lap. Now they come through to the final chicane on the circuit at turns 14, 15 and 16, and then out to complete the end of the first lap of racing. Pascal Wehrlein leads for Mahindra. 2nd is Oliver Roland for Nissan. 3rd is Lucas de Grassi. 4th Buemi, Da Costa, Massa, Sims, Verne, Piquet and Mortara completing the top 10.
Wehrlein is not just leading, he's leading by 1.1 seconds. He took advantage of Oliver Roland sort of making that move in turn 1, and he's really set sail already. And the guys are going to have to use energy to really catch up with him. But energy is not going to be a factor today. It's going to be a flat-out race from start to finish. The hard part is going to be overtaking, and that's why we saw so much aggression on the opening lap.
Yeah, that's where places can be won and lost, and races can be won and lost. On board we go. Here with Nelson Piquet in 9th place at the moment, the Brazilian racer. He's up behind Jean-Eric Verne, the reigning champion, who remained in his place, started 8th and is still 8th.
What I'm hearing is tyre wear is going to be critical, especially the left rear tyre, because there's a lot of long right-hand corners, so the left rear tyre is really going to be tortured. Drivers are going to have to look after that as the race goes on. And will we see, if there's a safety car towards the end, will we see drivers at the back of the field doing a pit stop to put new Michelin tyres on?
And that's one thing that the race control have just announced, that the attack mode activation zone is now open. We'll point that out to you next time we come past it. But speaking to Oliver Roland on the grid, he had trouble with one of his tyres during practice this morning, so he doesn't really know what he needs to do to keep everything together with the tyres. Here you can see after that first lap, Roland made 2 places, Buemi made 2 places, D'Ambrosio, 12th place now, he made 6 places on that opening lap.
Stoffel Van Dorn lost 3 places. At the back, there's so much going on with Eben Flo, as we see Robin French making contact with the Dragon.
Yeah, French tried to turn in. I think it was Lopez that he's collided with there. A bit odd that the Dragon tried to take the corner while France was up the inside.
A spinner, one of the Dragons.
Yeah, and that will be debutant Felipe Nasr, I believe, recovering.
Right across the activation zone. That is the attack mode activation zone you just saw there.
Yeah, I said we'd point it out next time. I wasn't expecting there to be cars everywhere.
Loads of debris.
There's chaos. Absolute chaos. Alexander Sims involved. It looked as though there was Jaguar debris in there. Oh, and there is. And that is Nelson Piquet. And Nelson Piquet in the Jaguar has had a very big accident.
That's a huge crash.
Let's hope that he's shaking his head.
14. He's okay. It's going to be a full course yellow, probably a safety car coming
probably, yeah, I think that will deploy a safety car. There's Scott Elkins.
Just stay in the car for now, just stay in the car.
Down in the bottom, and...
race control, this is race control. First course yellow.
Look at the damage on the Tachita at the bottom, right rear puncture. And the Tachita leading the pack.
Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Now, what is full course yellow, but no one is abiding by it. That was all a bit scrappy. No, I think that's D'Ambrosio further back. Yeah. Well, we'll have a look.
You might be right.
I think it was, because and away goes Alexander Sims. So we'll wait and see what happens. Here we go then. Nelson Piquet on board with him.
This is him through turn 12 actually. Sorry, coming through 13 now.
So he looks to the inside.
Oh wow! Got airborne. And when you've got airborne like that, you have no brakes. Trust me, I know. And
red flag.
Red flag, yeah.
The race has been red flagged.
I wonder if there's damage to the chicane.
Here's a look at it again. Keep your eyes to the right-hand side. Piquet went to the inside. Verne came across to cover it.
Wow, that's a big hit. A side slap as well. That really can damage the bones and the pelvis.
And how did Sims get involved? Did he just get wiped out by Verne?
Yeah.
Because he was in front of them, I think.
Wow. Or maybe Nelson, when he had no wheels on the car anymore, skittled him out of the way. So one corner of that car that isn't damaged as long as Nelson's okay. Let's see how late the defence is from John Earl. Look at him looking in his mirror, and he just keeps coming across And there's the contact. Now, as we pointed out pre-race,
and there's Sims getting hit.
As we pointed out pre-race, the driver cannot see that close. You can see you can probably see the back of that car right now, but Nelson cannot judge where the back of the DS Techeetah is. That's a scary accident.
That was rubber-to-rubber contact.
Had one of those, it didn't end well.
And that always leads to a launch.
Everybody now returns to the pit lane. The cars will wait until the debris is cleared, and by doing this, they can stop the clock, effectively, race control, so we won't lose time. Here's a look at the starts again. The man to watch is the second car on the left-hand side in the silver, Oliver Rowland. Adam, he's miles back, he just sends it.
He brakes so much later than everybody else. Look, he's braking too early, get out of the way, moving through, and controls the lockup very well.
Absolutely magic.
Threaded the needle.
I'm not going to get both of you, but I'll get one. He's sideways through there.
Was it Piquet going around the outside of Senna or something like that in F1 back in the day? Where it's all locked up and sideways. Look how busy it is on the exit of turn 1. And here's the pinch point at turn 3, on board with Oliver Turvey.
A bit of a shortcut from Oliver, but you see that everybody's moving around just looking for clear air. That's why these accidents happen on the first lap. A lot of them aren't by design, and people aren't going to be malicious of it. They're just caught. But look at Antonio Felix da Costa. He's just trying to keep his focus. Just trying to think about that.
Here's Jose Maria Lopez and Robin Freitz. This was Freitz going up the inside.
This is all the way alongside.
Lopez just turned into him.
Right, that's just misjudgment of the length of the nose of the car. There was nothing, again, nothing malicious. He just made a misjudgment, tried to turn in to get back in line as soon as possible. But just a slight mistake.
I wonder what caused Felipe Nasr to spin as well in this stadium section.
Yeah,
that's another.
That was the next sort of 2 corners, wasn't it, that occurred?
3 drivers are also under investigation for overtaking under the full course yellow. Lauderer, D'Ambrosio, and Mortara.
So this is looking back from pole sitter Pascal Wehrlein.
This should be good. Look, as Jack said earlier, for the third car in line now. He moves to the right. Oh, he almost hit the inside wall and turn out to avoid it. That was a textbook move.
Wow, look at Wehrlein's scoot.
He's gone. And watch to the right of Lucas Di Grassi that we're riding on with. Made a good start. And he's looking quite good. He's thinking about, okay, what do I do here? And here comes a rookie.
Wow.
Just great. Great for us to watch, not so good for Lucas. He's thinking, I can't believe it, but just got suckered into that move.
It's almost like he was too busy watching Wehrlein and trying to figure out how to best get around Wehrlein. Or get a run up to turn 3.
Job.
Pascal Wehrlein heads through the final 2 corners.
And
gets the race starting again. After a long red flag period, we're racing again in Mexico City. Pascal Wehrlein leading the way, Rowland second, Di Grassi third. They have played their attack modes very cleverly. At the moment, everybody's in attack mode, but soon, those that only have 2 minutes remaining, with the 2 chevrons on the left-hand side, i.e. Buemi, Massa, Mortara, Lotterer, D'Ambrosio and Verne, they'll be out and in a slower speed than everyone else.
Slower. And then they're in trouble, Jack.
Fascinating.
And the tyres are cold as well. The tyres are at their very best, so you can put all that extra power to the road.
On board with Oliver Rowland in second place for the Nissan team. Trying to chase down Pascal Wehrlein, who is in first place for Mahindra.
2 rookies at the head of the field.
So that attack mode can be used twice, has to be used twice in the course of the E-Prix, gives you an extra 25 kilowatts of power. Through they flash, and Di Grassi actually is very close to Rowland in the battle over second place.
Watch the separation as they leave the left-hander of turn 15, and that really dictates if an overtaking manoeuvre, if somebody's going to try and do a pass at the end of the straight or halfway down the straight even.
Onto the brakes into turn 1, once again here in Mexico City, 2,250 meters above sea level.
That right there is the main overtaking chance of the lap. That changes a little bit with attack mode, but apples to apples, that is the main overtaking chance.
Rowland and Di Grassi, the 2 drivers we're watching here. Rowland in only his 4th Formula E race. Now we're seeing the running clocks on the left-hand side. They are running out of the use of attack mode. You also see the usable energy remaining on the left-hand tower as well. it's going to be quite close to a flat-out race now to the line. If it was already with that little safety car period, even though they then reset the times. But here we go then. The early people are going to run out of
got a good run.
Extra power now. So it's not going to be second and third. It's the likes of Buemi, Massa, Mortara and Lotterer that are going to be under pressure here. Here comes Antonio Felix da Costa.
Cars behind you now run out of attack mode.
And he's the man to watch. Lucas Di Grassi being told the cars behind you running out of attack mode, and Buemi is going to be under big pressure from da Costa. Can't quite get the job done at the moment. It's the silver Nissan in third place, right up in front of the the blue and white BMW of Antonio Felix da Costa. He's got 1 minute now to make a move stick when he's in the attack mode.
He's got to set himself up, Jack, to come off of turn 15 and hang back just enough that he can accelerate through the corner, gain the advantage and try and make the pass over the start-finish line, because you're not going to do it on the brakes, I would say. It's going to be an acceleration advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be down the front straight because they've got about 40 seconds left of their attack mode. We're into the final minute. Yeah, 30 seconds now for the front three. This is the chance for da Costa. It's a good exit from Buemi in front.
Da Costa was very slow to the power.
What can the BMW driver do as they come down? Buemi knows he has to cover. And there's a lock-up. Somehow they don't hit each other. I thought they were destined to be meeting each other in the crash barriers. He's still got 10 seconds to go, da Costa, in attack mode if he wants to make the move stick.
Here he goes.
Tries to get to the inside. They make contact. Buemi holds on. That allows Felipe Massa to come through. He got attacked from behind from his rival as well, and teammate Eduardo Mortara, but da Costa couldn't make the move.
Got damage. Da Costa's got damage. Look at the steering wheel.
You can go to strategy 23 again on normal mode.
I think he's got damage, Jack.
Let's look at his steering wheel. Does it go straight?
When he goes to the straight
When
part.
he is straight.
Well, it's not going to be straight until the...
Good luck with that.
No, there's no straight bits on this track.
No.
That's the problem.
That's what Robin Frakes said yesterday. Didn't like it much because there wasn't much straight, but...
So here he comes, Antonio Felix da Costa, dropping back a little under pressure from Felipe Massa behind.
Let's see.
He's got damage to the front wing.
Is it sitting low in the right front? Let's see the steering. Let's see the in-car. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
He's
Crank
damaged
left.
it. That's not going to make life easy. 33 minutes plus a lap.
Daniel Abt up the inside of Tom Dillman. And he gets it done. So that is Abt moving up into 16th position.
Last year's winner here, Daniel Abt in the Audi.
Yeah, but there's our race leader, Pascal Wehrlein, with 31.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Roland is second, then third is Di Grassi. Then there's this gap back to the Nissan in fourth place of Sebastian Buemi. Then it is da Costa, then it is Massa, then it's Mortara, then it's Lotterer. Van Dorn's on his fan boost, coming down the start-finish straight now as we watch Daniel Abt come into turn one. So Van Dorn, does he manage to get past Felipe Nasr with the use of his fan boost? Doesn't look like he... Yes, he has. So Van Dorn used his fan boost and managed to get through. Robin Freitz is in front of Sam Bird. Here's a look at Robin Freitz getting passed by Jose Maria Lopez.
Abt behind does
been a mistake.
fan boost.
Oh, yeah. Gone well wide there, Freitz.
Cut back in front of his teammate, Sam Bird. This is the point where the Envision guys are a little nervous. Two teammates running together, and not at the end of the field they would like either. Car 7, Lopez, under investigation for overpower during regen. That means he's almost overcharged the battery under deacceleration.
An update from the medical centre. Nelson Piquet is absolutely fine after that crash earlier on, so that is good news. Alexander Sims is using his first attack mode. D'Ambrosio's made
holding me up.
9th place.
Blue 246, green 5754.
He has been told.
So that's Sam Bird saying Robin Freitz is holding me up, and the team saying we have told Robin.
It is fiesta time here in Mexico City.
Da Costa's doing well to hang on in that injured car.
Now, when is the Envision Virgin swap going to take place? It hasn't yet, but they are insisting that Robin Freitz has been told to move out of the way for Sam Bird.
Being told and doing it, two different things.
I think it would be on the
straightaway. Relationship as teammates, so you think maybe on the front straight when it's sort of safe to do so.
Well, I think...
But Robin's trying to attack the car in front.
That's going to be the argument, isn't it? Bird thinks...
Okay, Robin, multi-black 10. Multi-black 10.
That means get out of the way, Robin.
Okay, code and multi-black 10.
Yeah, multi-black 10, I suppose, is the code, and we'll wait and see as they come down the start-finish straight again. There's the lift.
Yeah. No.
Oh, no. Oh, that's Freinz behind. My apologies. We're on board with Lopez. And that's Freinz behind.
Big lock up from Lopez, but Freinz has got to be thinking. He's focused ahead. He's thinking, I can pass this guy.
It's not me holding up Bird.
Yeah,
it's
I'm
Lopez
being held
holding up.
Right.
Yeah. But Sam Bird is one of the best overtakers in Formula E, if not the best. His lunges are something to behold. So he could clear the way for both him and his teammate Robin Freinz.
Bear with us.
Verne getting out of shape going into turn 9.
I think Bird has just been told that he's holding him up, i.e. Lopez is holding up Freinz.
So we may need to use energy to defend from at. We may need to use energy to defend from at. He has 2.5 minutes remaining.
Because at is on the attack mode, yes.
28 minutes, plus 1 lap to go. Verline, Roland and De Grassi, the top 3. 2 rookies in the top 2 positions, with Lucas De Grassi, the Season 3 champion, in 3rd place as it stands. There they go, 1, 2, 3, all right together.
Then there's quite a gap back, 2.3 seconds back to Sebastian Buemi.
And that all built because Buemi went early with his attack mode, as we're on board, I think, with Bird.
And Freinz up ahead is trying to do the dummy.
Apt is in front of Bird. Bird's now in front of, I think we're side by side here. I think that's what's going on. As they come into the stadium section, we're with Freinz, but Bird and Apt behind, absolutely together. Freinz is trying to get through past Lopez in front.
Look at Lopez, car sliding around, the rear tyres are starting to go off.
Sam got past the back, Sam is just behind you.
So yeah, Bird got passed by Apt, that's the onboard action we were seeing. Bird was passed by Apt and then managed to retake the position.
Yeah, behind is 1 second, yeah, behind 1 second.
There's the first 3. Then in 4th place here is Buemi. A bit of a gap back to Da Costa. Then Massa, then Mortara. This is the view back from Sam Bird. And look, Daniel Apt with the attack mode is able to just cruise around the outside. Bird will hold it in there on the brakes though. Meanwhile, Alexander Sims goes past Tom Dillman and up to 17th place. Bird's doing a great job here.
He really is. And that was why I think he was saying, get Freinz out of my way. Because he doesn't want to be the one having to defend from Daniel Apt.
He wants Freinz to be the rear gunner, not him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a difficult job. He wants to be out attacking in front of him.
Through go the first 3. Then it's Buemi. Then it's Da Costa there in 5th place. And now that's Oliver Roland in 2nd position. Freinz activates his attack mode then. So Freinz is trying to get past Lopez and try and climb up the order.
These guys are absolutely on the limit, Jack, but they're getting to that point of trying to make a mistake because Roland's trying to catch Verline. Verline's trying to get ahead, and so on and so forth through the whole field. They're just pushing the limit, and when that mistake comes, that's how a lot of the passes are going to be made today.
First 3 right together. 6/10 back to Roland, 8/10 back to De Grassi.
With D'Ambrosio running down in 9th place, that's worth 2 championship points. Bird is out of the point, so right now they are provisionally tied for the championship.
Roland's a good bit closer.
Yeah. Lopez given a drive-through penalty for overpowering during regen, which we saw earlier on, or we saw the investigation earlier on. That's good news for Freinz, and that will hopefully give Lopez out the way, although it now says a 10-second time penalty of a pit lane overspeeding. So Lopez is absolutely done for this race.
When it rains, it pours.
Drive-through penalty and then a 10-second time penalty.
If I'm Lucas De Grassi, I'm watching these 2 rookies ahead. I'm going, listen, you go at it, boys. You take each other out of the race, and I'll just go on my merry way.
25 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
That gap between De Grassi and Buemi still 2.4 seconds.
Buemi actually slightly quicker on that last lap, but not of note. There's Mitch Evans, who's running in 11th place, just outside the points. Lopez has been passed now by Robin Freinz. Van Dorn is under investigation for using more energy for the fun boost as allowed. It is a fun boost, but yeah. It should be called the fun boost. I like that.
Gotta change its name.
Yeah.
On board, Pascal Wehrlein, our race leader.
So Wehrlein leading the way. So disappointed not to win in Chile a couple of weeks ago. So was that man Dilbag Gill, but Dilbag incredibly nervous. The whole team are nervous because 1 year ago, Felix Rosenqvist, I'm doing the commentator's curse again. You ready, everybody? Brace yourselves. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear it. But this is a fact. A year ago, Rosenqvist was leading for Mahindra from pole, and the car broke down on him. And so that's why we will not see anyone from Mahindra get excited until the checker flag falls. Send in your abusive tweets now.
Keep going, you're doing a good job.
That's an understatement. Oliver Rowland's an absolute great job. He's getting closer.
He has got
Pascal Wehrlein.
Less usable energy than Lucas Di Grassi behind. So Di Grassi in third is staying with them, but using less energy. But yeah. Here's Robin Fries. This is how he got past Jose Maria Lopez. Oh, Lopez pitted, that's why. So Lopez, oh no, he didn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure that's...
What's that about? Yeah, that might
not
be
a no-no.
That might be another penalty from the FIA for Lopez.
Once you commit to the pit lane.
He has crossed the white line and he's gone past the bollard, so you're not allowed to come into the pits after that bollard, but are you allowed to then not come into the pits after that bollard? That'll be a question for the FIA, but a third penalty for Lopez wouldn't be ideal. Something's happened to Verne. Look at that on the tower on the left-hand side.
Di Grassi has 2% more
Di Grassi
energy,
looking
but
to the
you're doing
inside.
a good job. So we focus on forward.
Again by Wehrlein.
Why is Verne back in 17th?
Wehrlein keeps locking up the outside front, and that's a dangerous thing to do. The loaded tyre into a fast corner like turn 1. I don't know, Verne. Did he have a spin in the stadium or something? But he's gone backwards in a hurry.
Dropped 7 places quickly.
Yeah, look at Buemi. He's coming as well, joining the party for the lead group. As is Da Costa.
Here's what happened with Verne. Oh, he's been nerfed by Mitch Evans. Evans was in attack mode, and yeah, only saw the end of that, really. Here we go again. They're right together. Oh, Evans has lost it. Evans has tried to go to the inside. The back end's getting away from him. Well, and this season gets worse and worse for Jean-Eric Verne in what many would argue is one of the fastest cars out there.
Yeah, but yeah, that happened to him a lot in Santiago too. I think he's getting fed up, getting nerfed out of the way. So he's not going to be a happy boy.
There's the usable energy remaining. Di Grassi has the most. Wehrlein 38%, Rowland 37%. Everybody else is basically the same, really. Buemi is really catching up with these guys now.
Yep.
Da Costa's coming with him.
Too, yeah.
So I don't know if the leader's pace has dropped off, or I'm not quite sure. But here in Mexico City, for the 4th round of the ABB FIA Formula E Championship, it is Pascal Wehrlein leading the way for Mahindra. Rowland in second, Di Grassi third. A little bit of a delay because of the red flag, but it's Wehrlein in front.
But again, Jack, it's so difficult for the cars behind to get enough of an overlap because there's no heavy braking zones to get an overlap, to make an overtaking maneuver, to make a pass. It's so difficult to actually get alongside them, and that's what everybody's struggling with right now and failing to do.
15 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Wehrlein still leading. The top 3 still nose to tail. Top 4, top 5 are still nose to tail. Oh, this just feels like it's bubbling.
You have too much caffeine again.
Do you know?
No, I agree with you.
I just looked and I have 3 cans of fizzy pop sitting next to me on the desk.
Sugar and caffeine.
Maybe you're right. Lopez under investigation. I shouldn't laugh.
It's just
sometimes it's just not your day.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Now, it looks like the guys are starting to struggle more with the car. The cars are sliding around a bit more than they were maybe 10 laps ago when I commented on it. Now it looks like they're starting to struggle a bit. And that makes it easier for any of them to make a mistake. Slightly too late in the brakes, slightly too early on the throttle, trying to carry slightly too much speed through a corner, and it can all end in tears.
14 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Pascal Wehrlein leads, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Wehrlein, Rowland, Di Grassi, Buemi, Da Costa. And then there's a gap back to the 2 Venturis. Massa in 6th, Mortara in 7th, then D'Ambrosio in 8th. 9th is Andre Lotterer. Completing the top 10 there is Mitch Evans, who we haven't seen being under investigation for that nudge with Verne, but given the willingness of handing out penalties in Chile, I can't imagine he's going to get away with that. and that would promote Robin Freitz up into 10th place if there were a penalty applied to Mitch Evans, but we'll wait and see. But the top 5 with 13 minutes plus a lap to go are right together, and it's just who's going to make the move, who's going to make the attack mode attack first. Questions.
And Mortara's used his attack mode to close right up on the back of his teammate Felipe Massa. Whether he's going to be aggressive enough to make an overtaking attempt, time will tell.
I was about to say D'Ambrosio has, on paper, seized the championship lead from Sam Bird, but Bird just picked up a position. He's now up at 12th. If he can get to the points, he can limit the damage.
He did say if he gets a point today, it will be a miracle.
You've also got Da Costa in there as well, because Da Costa, if he can gain a few places, could pick up a decent chunk of points and promote himself right into the championship hunt. Daniel Abt is using his fan boost as he tries to get past Oliver Turvey. Mortara's gone past Felipe Massa, meanwhile, in the top 5, just getting closer and closer and closer.
I think Oliver Rowland's car looks better right now. It's handling better than Pascal Wehrlein that's leading the race in the orange Mahindra. This looks like he's able to hug the inside of the corner for a bit longer.
There, Da Costa's going for it. Antonio Felix Da Costa, 5th at the back of the queue, activates his attack mode. This is the time now for the Portuguese to try and carve his way through the order. I would have thought he would have been the last to go, personally. Yeah. Wait for everyone else to commit themselves, and you can just do it whenever you want.
It almost looked like they were dropping him a little, but even before he went to the attack mode activation zone, so he's going to do something to stay in contention. But
Mahindra, Nissan, Audi, Nissan, BMW, Venturi in the top 6.
This is easy for us to say, sitting here watching this race. But you know, these guys are making the best decisions they possibly can, with engineers telling them what to do as well when they think the most efficient time is to use it. Rowland's car looks really good right now, and as we've seen, it punches off the corner. The Nissan punches off the corner really well. And that's all it might take to get alongside going over the start-finish line. And once you've got position, you can kind of block the other driver out for turn 1.
Is anyone attack moding? No.
Da Costa set his best first segment after picking up attack mode.
Well, he's got an extra 25 kilowatts of power. From 200 kilowatts, he goes up to 225 kilowatts of power. That was Andre Lotterer activating his second attack mode.
Da Costa lost 0.6 of a second arming attack mode.
But he gained 0.2 in sector 1 alone.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it's not a big loss, is it? We've seen a lot bigger.
1 or 2 seconds in previous times. This is the look back from Rowland.
How many laps to go?
De Grassi behind.
As you have on the car.
Don't tell anybody, just read your steering wheel. That sun's got to be getting low in the driver's eyes as well.
Absolutely, Bob. And that means it's difficult to pick out your brake markers. See Jean-Eric Verne, what's going to happen? He's at the... Oh,
there he goes,
passing
past
Dillman.
Tom Dillman, yeah.
Is he passing him, or are they just going to have a go around the outside? Yeah, a bit of contact, more contact, more contact. Dillman's short, he's pushed Dillman off the shortcut. He's waved at him.
Yeah, well, Dillman...
It was Guemi,
Da Costa tries to go around the outside, can't quite pull it off. That was close there for Da Costa. Nearly got in there, but the way the attack activation zone is positioned, it doesn't quite work out for him. And so now, Evans and Verne are now under investigation for causing a collision.
No
so
surprise.
Now it's Buemi and Da Costa that are going to try and climb up to the back of the 3 cars in front.
So would you rather be ahead without attack mode while your rivals have it, or behind with attack mode, knowing the guy ahead of you does not?
I'd rather be ahead at this point. I think it's so difficult to pass. But then you've got, again, just bear in mind, Da Costa's car is broken. The suspension, he's steering to one side, the suspension is bent on that car, so he's done a great job to stay up in P5.
They're ebbing and flowing between these guys. It's fascinating, because all of a sudden...
Middle of the track is one of the bollards, guys, sorry.
Yeah. But now Rowland is closer to De Grassi than Wehrlein is to Rowland. Well, now they're all equidistant as they come into De Grassi's going for it. Oh, does he get it? Yes. He got all out of... He got to properly get in that attack activation zone, and he just about managed it. So De Grassi now is in attack mode. It's going from back to front, this attack mode, isn't it?
De Grassi has got to make hay here with the sun shines. He's got to attack with this attack mode.
Maybe that's why they called it.
That's a good name for it, yeah.
5-second time penalty for Jose Maria Lopez for pit entry line crossing. And he's down in 19th place. Massa, meanwhile, has been shuffled back now to behind Lotterer.
2 minutes 40 left, 2 minutes 30.
Now, was De Grassi's a defensive play, arming attack mode? I think it probably was.
look at Roland now. He is freed from looking at Degrassi behind. He's all over the back of race leader Pascal Wehrlein. Nose to tail.
He's just the man as well. He's just aggressive enough to have a go, to put it all on the line. Win or bust.
The drivers coming into this weekend, bit grumpy, no way you can attack. Roland's going for
attack mode. Can he hold the position?
He's made a mistake! And through goes Degrassi into second place. It slips away from Oliver Roland. He's still in a podium position though, just in front of his teammate Sebastian Buemi. But that's the challenge of going for the attack mode and just getting it ever so slightly wrong.
Because his teammate,
He
touched.
On getting by the position.
Roland hitting with his teammate, and now they are both out of race win contention because they have dropped so far back. And I think Degrassi has lost a lot of ground too because of him trying to get through.
That allows Degrassi to focus purely on Wehrlein. Don't worry about being defensive. Roland just locked the rears. That was it. Simply just, you know, a slight too much pressure on the brake pedal at that angle of corner, and you saw the result.
It was an odd move. I think it was an odd move from Buemi as well because he wasn't particularly close
into the chicane.
Yeah,
it was.
Roland said on the radio, "What is he doing?" There goes into attack mode. Yep, Pascal Wehrlein keeps the lead, but now Degrassi is right with him, and they've got the same amount of power, so Degrassi's got to try and get something done before he runs out in 2 minutes' time.
But Wehrlein's got it for 2 minutes. 2 minutes longer. That allows him, if Degrassi does get past him, it allows him another chance to return the favour.
Exactly, but he's got to get the track position. That's going to be the key.
And Mahindra does not look like it's handling well, Jack. It looks like he's struggling to put the power down.
One more lap. Degrassi one more lap on attack zone.
It looks like he's sliding when he tries to go on the throttle, especially with 225 kilowatts as against the 220.
So they're saying to Wehrlein there, if you can keep Degrassi behind you for one more lap, then you should be in the clear with 6 minutes plus a lap to go.
And Buemi's about to run out of attack mode. Well, Roland's ahead of him now, so that should take some of the pressure off.
Well, Roland's been Degrassi.
Roland's been ahead of Buemi the whole of the race as they come into the stadium section. You can hear the cheers because they are attacking each other for the lead of the race, and Degrassi is super close. Bit of a gap back to Buemi in fourth now. Wehrlein into the final chicane. Where will Degrassi, if Degrassi does fancy a move?
Wehrlein has done such a good job of just backing up the chicane. But look at the oversteer through that last corner. That's where Wehrlein looks a little like he's overheating.
It is the last lap for Degrassi. Overconsume if you need, you're good.
Looks like he's overheating that left rear tyre through that long acceleration through turn 17.
Absolutely nose to tail. Degrassi trying to hug the inside into turn 3. It's just not close enough. He's got 10 seconds of attack mode left. I don't think he's going to be able to make his way past Pascal Wehrlein unless he goes for something mad coming into the stadium section now, but the attack mode ends. Lucas Degrassi drops back to normal power of 200 kilowatts.
And this is where Wehrlein can make a gap. He's now got 2 more minutes, but he's got to look after the tyres doing it.
Yeah.
Because you run out of tyres, you're in all kinds of trouble. Look at the tyre, you can see the tread pattern is getting really thin on that left rear tyre.
Meanwhile, Bird and Abt run nose to tail in 12th and 13th. Neither has taken his second attack mode.
Tara looks like he's closing in a bit on Costa.
The gap's come down to 1.3 seconds. There in third place is Oliver Roland, still in his attack mode. You're right, definitely Mortara has closed in. Massa still down in 9th place. Wehrlein's not getting away, despite being in the higher power mode.
I wonder again how much of that is just he can't put the power to the ground anymore. He's the car sliding around. It looks like he made a bit of a gap there.
Yeah.
Looks like it's handling okay through the left-hand corners. It's the rights that Pascal Wehrlein is struggling with. Again, we talked about the left-hand side tyres getting a little warm. And this track, brakes are not going to be an issue. You know, even though the air's thin, it has trouble cooling the brakes. You don't brake heavily enough to have any kind of brake problems. As we see Sam Bird and Daniel Abt go to attack mode in positions 12 and 13. for Sam Bird, it doesn't matter if he finishes 12th or 11th. There's no point. He's got to get into the top 10 to get points.
He's got his teammate in front of him, Robin Freitz, and I imagine Robin would maybe move out of the way because he's quite away from the back of Mitch Evans, and if Bird can use that extra power to catch up, and even if he doesn't, they're both finishing outside the points anyway.
Yeah, Robins is 4th in the championship though, so a point would come in handy for him too.
Agreed, but if he's not going to get in them...
Airline attack mode ending in 5 seconds.
So here's the championship at the moment. Mahindra would extend their lead at the top of the would make a big lead at the top of the championship.
Past the Envision guys.
And here's the Drivers' Championship. Pascal Wehrlein would take the lead of the championship.
Crikey.
He would go up to 50 points, 3 points clear of his teammate Jerome D'Ambrosio. Bird would be 7 points back.
Again, this is where he struggles right through this section.
So now...
Gap to rear is safe. White coat, please.
Now it is nose to tail.
177.
Wehrlein covers the inside a little bit now.
Defend, but that allows Lucas to look at doing the cutback, getting through turn 2 and make the pass into turn 3.
They're both in normal mode.
He's struggling all of a sudden. Pascal Wehrlein is really struggling.
Have the tyres just gone a little bit too far away for the Mahindra driver? Wehrlein looking for his first Formula E race win. Lucas de Grassi.
Wehrlein's having to lift and coast jack, which we haven't seen all day.
Lucas de Grassi looking for his 9th. Now he's got 7% remaining, so that's 2% less than de Grassi. Are Mahindra getting a bit nervous that they're going to run out of battery?
Sounds like it. But Roland's got 6%.
Nerves on the face of Alan McNish.
I thought I heard Dilbag say safe second.
Yeah. So I think that's okay, if he attacks you, he attacks you. But Wehrlein was told that in the last race, and he didn't really enjoy that either, did he?
I don't see him.
Crossing, start, finish, 3 laps to go.
Oh, here comes de Grassi to the outside.
Wehrlein 2% less.
Three laps to go with 6%. That's a heck of
That's a long way.
This is tough.
5%. We feel your pain, Alan.
I feel your pain, Dilbag. It's all about the energy in these closing laps. But de Grassi is using a lot to try and pass him. And everybody said this would be a flat-out race, but it has not transpired.
And it's a shortened race as well.
Yeah.
I think that's why Wehrlein wasn't pulling away when he had attack mode, and de Grassi didn't, because it was taking too much out of the battery.
Absolutely, Bob. Look at the leaders, all concertina. You got 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, all nose to tail, getting closer every second.
Right, it's coming down into turn 1. That's the time where Wehrlein does most of his lift and coasting, and Lucas de Grassi is right behind now.
And he's going to have to do 2 more laps.
Here we come. Down over the finish line once more.
2 laps to go.
Here comes Lucas.
Wehrlein covers the inside. He knows he has to lift.
God, really tight.
De Grassi to the outside, still not enough. Wehrlein saying, I'm really tight. And watch out as well for Roland. Roland's got 2%. He's not going to make it. Roland's not going to make this finish. Buemi's got 2% as well.
Nissan miscalculated.
We're at 0 now, so I think they have. I think Nissan think there's one fewer lap than there is. The checker flag is not going to fall this time for Nissan, and that is going to ruin their day. Let's watch the leaders though.
Mortara's got the most energy, guys. P6, 6%. Has everybody else
miscalculated because of the race restart and the red flag and all the chaos that has ensued over the course of this Mexico City E-Prix. Here they come. Roland's got 1%. It's done for Nissan. It's over for Nissan. A 3rd and 4th place finish is down the drain. Through they come out of the final corner, unless for some reason there's the checkered flag now, but there won't be, because that's not how the race works. Onto the final lap of the race. Wehrlein lifts, de Grassi attacks.
Try to do as much as you can.
And he can't do it.
But can he do it into 3? Nissan's are in all kinds of trouble.
Last lap.
Here they come.
Try to do as much as you can.
D'Ambrosio covering the inside line.
Here comes Lucas.
De Grassi on the inside, and Wehrlein goes straight on. And he cuts the chicane and he doesn't stop, and that's in the regulations. And this is going to run and run. This is going to be a post-race investigation, I fear, as to who is going to win the E-Prix, unless the BMW of Da Costa gets involved as well. Wehrlein's got 1%.
Mortara's got 4 more. I think Mortara's probably the only guy getting there to the finish.
He's gone from 6th to 4th.
The Nissans are out of this one. Verline, can he get to the line before he hits 0%? That's going to be the big question. Who's going to win the Mexico City E-Prix? De Grassi goes for it. Verline covers. He's defending like an absolute wide demon. Here comes Verline out of the final corner. He hits 0. De Grassi wins.
Minimum distance, flat all the way.
De Grassi wins. Surely Da Costa is 2nd, and surely Mortara is 3rd. What a mad end to the Mexico City E-Prix. It never fails to deliver. Audi don't need to wait for any post-race investigation because De Grassi took the flag. Dilbecker has his head in his hands. Not only do they not win, I don't think they're going to score any points. Verline's been given a 5-second time penalty as well for cutting the chicane.
The highs and lows of racing.
Yeah, all okay.
Yes, yes, perfect, man. What a race! You are awesome. You are awesome. What a race. Cool until the end. Cool until the end. Woo!
What a bookend event to his miraculous win a couple of years ago.
Oh man, I never had so much adrenaline. Whoa! Whoa!
You see the highs and lows.
Yeah.
The Audi guys, the Mahindra guys. That's what it means to everybody. Okay, here we go.
Right, so, but the crucial thing is here, Verline's hit 0%.
Right here.
Verline has hit 0%. That's why he has to get out of it. De Grassi takes the checkered flag. Da Costa will finish 2nd. Mortara will finish 3rd for Venturi. And it won't, and and whether Verline's 5-second penalty drops him to 6th or disqualifies him, we'll have to wait and see.
That was so close to having the same incident that Nelson Piquet had.
Yeah.
Right.
Lucas De Grassi, when he wins here proper.
Is that better than coming from 16th on the grid to win like he did a few years ago?
Ladies and gentlemen, team principal Alan McNish.
Here's a look at the provisional results. Lucas De Grassi, talk about a miraculous win over Antonio Felix da Costa and Eduardo Mortara. Then Jerome D'Ambrosio, Andre Lauderer, Pascal Verline, Mitch Evans, Felipe Massa. Sam Bird manages to salvage a couple of points from the last row of the grid, and right behind him, the man he started there with, Daniel Abt. What a race.
Well, Lucas De Grassi, I mean, talk about leaving it to the last minute. What an incredible moment to cross the finish line like that.
I think today was my best Formula E race ever.
Really?
It was unbelievable. Verline was very dodgy, closing the door, changing direction many times. So I tried to put pressure on him, make him use energy, and then in the last corner he just slowed down, tried to close the door, and I crossed the line sideways. It's unbelievable.
Before the race started, you try everything, and to be honest, we were so fast. I think we had the most efficient car there. Like Buemi was struggling. We went a lot longer than him, and I had more pace than him. So that's a really good indication, but I knew we were going to pick up the pieces. I told my engineer, let's pick up the pieces, let's stay here. And yeah, it's great. I mean, it was crazy last lap. I just wanted to bring it home, wanted to stay away from the chaos, but yeah, happy with that. The team deserves it. It's a shame for Alex, he got hit in the beginning, but yeah, we're building up from this, so it's all good.
Don't know where it was, where that came from actually on the last lap. But we had a pretty good race. We had a pretty good race pace, and to be honest, the last, let's say, like 3-4 laps, I could see that I was catching the people in front of me. But I was just praying that they were not doing any mistakes and not any contacts, because they had Jerome behind me, and I didn't want to lose that much time. P4 in Santiago, P3 now here. I mean, yeah, let's see.
Here's a look at the Provisional Drivers' Championship points. Jerome D'Ambrosio seizes the lead back by 7 points over Antonio Felix da Costa. Sam Bird hanging in just 1 point behind in third. Then Lucas De Grassi with the full boat, 25 points for the win. Pascal Verline, what could have been, but still he goes from 9th to 5th in the points. Followed by Andre Lauderer, Robin Franks, Jean-Eric Verne, Mitch Evans, Eduardo Mortara. And in the team's championship, Mahindra Racing on top by 10 over Envision Virgin. That's a swap of positions. Then BMW I Andretti hanging in there in their best season yet in the series. DS Techeetah and the reigning team champions from Audi Sport Abt Scheffler slowly climbing their way back up. And now back to the podium at the main event.
And now Jose Luis Beato, the secretary, hands over the trophy to Lucas de Grassi, who is victorious. Hasn't quite got his Garland technique down, but goodness me, has he got his racing driver technique down.
Hope somebody got a shot of that.
Another victory from an unlikely scenario for the Brazilian. And the crowd here is rather splendid, has to be said. Look at it, thousands of people down in the Allianz E-Village, waving and cheering as they did do, Bob, from start to finish. The crowd's been phenomenal.
I've never seen anything like it, frankly, and I've been all over the world watching racing, as you have, Jack. His Mexican fans' appetite for motorsport generally, but particularly for the ABB Formula E Championship, is just staggering.
Lucas de Grassi sprays the champagne. A tricky start to his season, but he has certainly brought himself into championship contention now. He's not quite up at the top, but he is back within touching distance. And he's doing a Hamilton.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't you need post-race scrutineering with that?
Yeah.
That has to be checked.
Well, there was a time he got in trouble because his underpants were wrong.
The wrong underwear, yeah. And so Lucas de Grassi cements his place as the master in Mexico, our fourth different race winner in as many rounds of this fiercely driven championship. Be sure to join us next time when we'll be in Hong Kong for more hard-hitting action. Until then, for Jack Nichols, Dario Franchitti, Nikki Shields, and me, Bob Barsha, it's adios from Mexico City.